Hi everyone, I am Bhavna, 4th semester, Electronics and Communication Department of Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering. Today, let us deal with the subject Indian Constitution. In that, let us deal with the topic Constitution of India, the necessary for the country. So, these are the major topics involved in the particular topic. What is constitution anyway? Why do we need constitution? The history of constitution of India, framing of constitution, preamble to the constitution of India, what is the constitution of India, main characteristics involved in it, as well as the conclusion. What is constitution anyway? A constitution is the supreme law of the land. All other laws have to conform to the constitution. The constitution contains the law concerning the government of India and its relations with the people. A constitution is concerned with the two main aspects, the relation between the different level of government and between the government and the citizens. What is constitution anyway? Constitution is divided into two major headings, government as well as a people. Government is subdivided into legislative, which is one which make the laws, judiciary is the one which interrupt the laws, executive is the one which enforces the laws. The constitution is not an instrument for the government to restrain the people. It is an instrument for the people to restrain the government, which has been told by Patrick Henry. The second topic is why do we need the constitution? In general, we need a constitution to govern a country properly. The constitution defines the nature of political system of the country. Sometimes we feel strongly about an issue that might go against our larger interests, and a constitution helps us to guide against this. All the three organs of the government, executive, legislative, and judiciary, functions within the constitution. All the three organs of government includes the ordinary citizens derive their power and authority, that is fundamental right, from the constitution. If they act against it, it is unconditional and unlawful. So constitution is required to have authorized allocation of power and function, and also to restrain them within the limit. The people don't know their true power, so that we need the constitution. To perform the following functions, we need the constitution. The first function of the constitution is to provide a set of basic rules that allow for the minimal correlation among the members of society. The second function of the constitution is to specify how the power to make the decisions in a society, to declare how the government will be constructed. The third function of the constitution is to set some of the limit on what the government can impose on citizens. These limits are fundamental in the sense for the government may further transcend them. The fourth function of the constitution is to enable the government to fulfill the separations of the society and to create the conditions for the just society. The third topic is the history of the constitution of India. So these are the history behind the constitution of India. From 324 BC to 185 BC, the employer Ashoka Maurya established the constitutional principles. 1599 AD to 1765 AD, East India Company takes the total administrative control by gaining the right. 1765 AD to 1858 AD, East Indian Company takes total undefined control. 1858 AD to 1947 AD, the period of British Raj was then time taken for the Constitution of India. 1050, finally Constitution of India created an independent India by its own free people was adopted on 26th November 1949 and came into the effect of 26th Jan 1950. As we know that it was free for us. The Government of Indian Act 1935, the introduced provisional authority responsible for the government for the provisions with elected members in the change of the administration and responsible to the elected legislatives. A federal government was proposed through it did not came into the effect at the center diarchy was introduced. Indian Independent Act 1947, the British gave up the control of the government of Indian of two domains, India and Pakistan. For the time being, till the constitution was made, both of them would have governed in accordance with the Constitution of Indian Act of 1935. So the Constitution of India 1950 AD, the Constitution was enabled by the Constitutional Assembly on 26 November 1949 and came into the effect on 26 Jan 1950. The day 26 January was chosen to accommodate the Purna Swaraj Declaration of Indian Independence of 1930. Within its adoption, the Union of India officially became the modern and contemporary Republic of India, and it replaced the Government of Indian Act 1935 as a country fundamental governing document. So this is a history of the Constitution of India, where the objectives in the Assembly completed the task of November 26, 1959. The Constitution was enforced with the effect on Jan 26, 1950, from the day India became the Republic of India. The fourth topic is the framing of Constitution of India. Constitution Assembly of India was elected to the Constitution of India following these Independent Act of British. Its members served as in following first Parliament. So the body was formed in 1946 for the purpose of making the independent Indian constitution. The assembly passed a resolution in 1947 January defining the objectives of the constitution. So these are the basic objectives of the constitution. So these are the main person for the first president for the Constitutional Assembly when it's met in December 9, 1949. Later, Dr. Rajendra Prasad said became the president of Constitutional Assembly, and Dr. Bimro Ambedkar became the chairman of the drafting committee on December 1946. The Constituent Assembly they consisted on 385 members. On its 292 were elected by the elected members of the Provisional Legislative Assembly, while 93 members were nominated by the privileged states. To this were added as a respective each for the chief committees of New Delhi. So these are the major thing which include the USA, Australia, USSR, Germany, Japan, Canada, so South Africa as well as in Ireland. So these are the major states or the countries where the framing of the Constitution of India was undertaken. For the time being, till the Constitution was made, India would have governed as a constitution with the Government of Indian Act of 1935. So these are the major thing for the Republic of Indian Act on 26 January. So it's a framing of India on 63rd Republic Day celebration was going on 28 January 1912 at the New Delhi. And the fifth topic is the preamble of the Constitution of India. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved the Constitution India into the sovereign, sociality, secular, democratic republic, and to ensure that all its citizens justice, which is nothing but social, economical, and political liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of states of the opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuming the dignity of the individual and the unity of and the integrity of the nation. In our Constitution Assembly, the 26th day of the November 1949, or hereby adopting the act and gave its objectives for the Constitution. So, we the people, in the first word of the preamble, we the people signifies as the power in ultimate vested in the hands of the people on India. So far, the preamble has been amended only on 1976 by 42nd Amendment, which interested the words solemnity, security, and integrity. A brief description of this particular concepts. Sovereign, it means free to follow the internal and external policies. Secular, it means no particular region is preferred. Sociality, it means no concern of the power and money. Democratic, it means rule to elected the relationships of the people of India. Republic, it means a room for hereditary rule of the monarchy. So it's the preamble of the Constitution of India. And the sixth topic is what is Constitution of India. Constitution of India is concerned to the supreme law of the country as it is the fourth framework of the fundamental political right. It has two fundamental as well as the federal union states. So these are the main features where the unitary features includes a single citizenship, single constitution, the power of the union to override the state members. During the emergency of the system became the virtual. So these are the major features of the unitary features. So constitution is divided into the preamble, amendment, schedules as well as in appendix based upon its Constitution of India. And then the constitution government of India is divided into the legislative, judiciary as well as an executive. So these are the main three subheadings related to that. So these are the like the popular solidarity, the sociality, the secularity, fundamental right, the directive principle of the state policy, judicial independent, federal, and the cabinet member were the major rules of it. Characteristics is the seventh point of Constitution of India, where the characteristics includes the longest written constitution, the partially rigid and the particularly, a democratic republic, the parliamentary system of government, a federation, the fundamental right, declarative principle of society, fundamental duty, secular state, the independent judiciary, as well as a single citizenship. And last thing is conclusion. A constitution simplifies the independence of the country framework and the structure for the government for the free country and to provide its constitution. The Constituent Assembly prepared a draft of the Constitution by keeping the objective resolution as a backdrop with respect to the aspirations of the people of India. The framing of the Constitution was completed on November 26, 1949. When the Constitutional Assembly formally adopted the new Constitution, the Constitution came into the force with the effect from Jan 26, 1950. The Constitution begins with the preamble which declares into the sovereign sociality, secular democratic republic. The Bible also mentions its goal and securing the justice, liberty, and equality for the citizens and promotion of the national unity and integrity on the basis of fraternity among the people, assuming the dignity of the individuality. So it's a conclusion regarding the Indian constitution, the necessary for the country. So thank you all. Thank you for the session.